So today I thought we'd take a look at some products from Arnold. This is its 1 to 120 TT range. Now we've heard that Pico is producing the range of track for 1 to 120. Helgen has announced a class 31 in the scale, and some viewers might be wondering what they can run behind this locomotive. Obviously TT in the UK is in very early days at the moment, but here is some rolling stock from the continent that you could perhaps run on a British outline layout. And the reason for that is that these are ferry vans. Now, this isn't new tooling, but this is the first time that we've taken a proper look at this on World of Railways, and very nice tooling it is too. This depicts a van which would run on the continent between, well, whether it's the factory or it's the distribution side, I'm not entirely sure. But you can see there we've got English and Dutch Meat Company Limited London, and then you've got the distribution and Rotterdam obviously being the port where it would depart on the ferry. So these are all ferry going vehicles, would have been seen on this side of the channel as well as on the continent. And well, if we just take a look around the wagon, we can sort of get a bit of a feel for the level of detail that you can expect on a TT model. It's a bit of a halfway house, I'd say, between N and 00, although I'd say it's more of the 00 level of detail than it is N. You can see at the ends of the wagon there, lots of extra fitted detail from the handrails and the little grab handles there. You've even got separately fitted buffers there, turned metal buffers. We can have a quick look at the coupling mechanism as well, and its ability to sort of sway from side to side there with the spring. This is something that usually you only tend to see on bogied vehicles, but because of the nature of the long wheelbase of this wagon, this is actually something that tends to be featured more on the 00 scale models that we're used to seeing, where you have lengthy wagons, and on short radius curves this just helps them go around without derailing. Plenty of underframe detail to admire on these wagons. Air tanks, vacuum tanks as well, I assume, vacuum reservoirs rather. Handbrake gear, all separately fitted as well. And the level of the application of the livery on the model is to a very high standard. It's all sharp, it's crisp, the lettering is accurately applied, and some little roof vents there as well. Obviously important to keep these wagons refrigerated. Here we have the version in grey. This one is a cool wagon, cool being obviously cold, so refrigerated wagon, and the same tooling but a different livery. So I could see these being used on a perhaps a layout near the coast, a sort of a port layout, perhaps ideal for shunting, or you could insert them into a train which would be in either destination to a port or heading from a port. Just sneak one of these in there. Obviously you've got to be aware of the loading gauge of these, and just make sure that the routes taken would be correct. But for those of you that don't care, and I suspect that's the majority, here's a look at some rolling stock that you might not have considered on your layout before. And the great thing is, it's available now. So take a look at the Arnold TT range. These aren't the only wagons available. There are flats as well. And of course, if you're modelling the continent, well, it's already set out for you, isn't it? But there you go. I thought we'd just take a look at these today, and just let you know that there is some rolling stock that you might not have considered before that's great for TT layouts.